Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Antonio Mango, and if you're new to this channel, I literally scout, do analysis on all the best up-and-coming wonder kids and any transfers that may happen no matter what the club is. You give us a shout out, I'll put out the video for you. Let's get the boring stuff over and done with. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're here already or enjoy this video, please hit that like button. And at the end, if you do decide you enjoy this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today, we are going to be looking at a 19-year-old that looks likely to make a move to Aston Villa and the Premier League. So even if you're not an Aston Villa fan, you're a fan of football and the Premier League, and you want to see what talent is going to be emerging in the Premier League, so this video could be for you. But it is a 19-year-old from Fiorentina who has only made one full season at Fiorentina, but what a season it's been. And that is Michael Kayode. He was born on the 10th of July 2004 in Italy, but he's also of Nigerian descent. But he has been representing Italy for the under-18s, under-19s, and now under-21s. He actually scored in a European final championship. Yeah, it was actually the deciding goal against Portugal to make Italy win that European championship. So we're going to be breaking down his strengths, weaknesses, what his position is, and how he compares to the Villa squad, especially Matty Cash at the moment. So let's give you a little bit of background about Kayode at the moment. He came through the Fiorentina Academy and he was very presentable in helping them win the Supercoppa Primavera in 2021-22 season and 2023-24 season. And he also helped them lift the Youth Coppa Italia in 2021-22. And he was also a part of that squad that made it to the final of the Europa Conference League in 2023-24. Michael Kayode is a 5'10" right back who possesses the attributes to play in various different positions, which we'll touch upon very shortly. He's got excellent speed, unbelievable athleticism. He's got good stamina. He's energetic. He's powerful. He's physical, and he thrives in defending, especially tackling. So throughout his youth and his senior career, we've seen Kayode. He's played as a traditional right back inside the back four. That's why he mainly played for Fiorentina last season. We've seen him play at left back. We've seen him play at right midfield. And for Italy under 21s, he's actually played right forward in a front three. Testament to not only his technical ability, but his in-game intelligence as well. And we will break it down. So at Fiorentina, Kayode has been playing under the guidance of Vincenzo Italiano, and since making his debut, he's emerged as an undisputed starter for the club. Kayode is definitely a modern-day fullback. He has the speed, the intelligence, and athleticism to support attacks, but his true strength lies when he's defending. He's a defensive monster. He's got the pace to eat up the ground. He's quick, he's electric, and he's also capable of keeping pace with tricky and quick opponents, whilst having the aggression and strength to compete as well. Kayode excels in his tackling. His timing of his tackling is impeccable, and that goes to show when he's averaging 2.3 tackles per game. He thrives in one-on-one situations. What he excels at is when he uses his speed and his physicality to reduce space when attackers closing him down and reduce them angles. When he's defending, he's a real active defender. He prefers to close the space down, use his burst of acceleration, really get close to his opponent before jockeying the attacker. He almost forces them into making decisions, the wrong decision, and then using his strengths to contest with them and almost win nearly every duel. Doing this as a defender, you can always be caught out flat-footed or not side on, but he's got the reach, the agility to go to ground and to make a tackle. He'll sharply burst up on opponents, and then he slows himself down just at the right time to position his body accordingly. It's almost with the side-on position, slightly turned, knees bent, and always showing his opponent away from danger. Any young defender that does this when they first come into the senior team, you know you've got a bowler on your hands. Not only this, when defending, Kayode possesses impeccable reaction speed. He's certainly a presence on the pitch, and so much so it almost overwhelms opponents. He likes to harry them, press them, be aggressive, consistently in the face, and he's determined to win back possession. He's extremely quick in acceleration, but he remains light-footed, so he's ready to dive in action when he needs to. He likes to stay on his feet, but in last-ditch circumstances, he will go to ground and get a slide challenge if needed. When defending, he's more often positions himself brilliantly to sniff out danger. And when he is caught out in positioning, he's got the physical acceleration to recover his position. You'll often see him making last-man tackles, goal-line clearances, coming across to cover his central defenders. His awareness of what's around him is really impressive, and he spots dangers and knows when to cover and where to cover. On the defensive side of the game, he's aggressive, he's strong, he's quick, he's a nightmare for wingers or forwards. As you can see from his heat map, he covers all thirds. In fact, Kayode actually finished with the most tackles out of any defender in Serie A in the final third. That just goes to show that his counter-pressing ability and his nature to reduce speed against the opposition. And when you compare that to any Villa defender, it's more than any Villa player, never mind defender. He finished with 11 tackles inside that final third. His attributes are essential for any fullback. When facing up against quick, agile, skillful wingers, he's got the recovery pace and bundles to eat up the ground. He's got the acceleration. He's agile. He's quick enough and clever enough to keep up with speedy attackers. What I like about Kayode when defending is he uses his physicality to his advantage. He's got a nice broad width about him, and he uses that to go strength to strength with attackers, and he almost overwhelms them by being so aggressive. But he also does this when supporting attacks as well. Kayode is a steam train once he gets going. Once he gets those back burners on, there's absolutely no stopping him. His running style is absolutely mesmerizing, to be honest. He's like a 100-meter sprinter, back upright, arms thrusting, knees almost reaching his chest. You just literally wouldn't want him running full speed at you. He's so aggressive when he likes to attack. He averages more carries, total and progressive distance of carries into the penalty area, touches in the defensive middle and final third, more take-on attempts, more successful take-on attempts than Matty Cash did at Villa last season. Matty Cash entered the final third more with the ball, but Kayode positioned himself so high up, therefore he receives more progressive passes. So what I'm trying to say is, you'll often see him positioned higher than what Matty Cash would, so he can receive those passes, turn on the ball, and be more dynamic. Whereas Matty Cash will drop off, receive the ball, and look to enter into the final third. Kayode shows great bravery when he's playing on the right-hand side. When he's looking to get forward, he's dynamic, he's aggressive, and he takes his chances well. He sees space and he moves into it. And he shows great versatility and unpredictability when he's moving into the final third. So he does overlap, but he also shows great inverted runs as well. And it's kind of really unpredictable for defenders to predict. So he's really got the nature and the ability to show support and runs on the outside, creating width for his side, but also coming inside and creating overloads as well. When on the ball, Kayode is not your typical elegant dribbler. He's not like a dribbler like Messi weaving in and out of players. He'll shape up against his opponents. He'll be brave in shaping them up, and then he'll look to withdraw them from their position, look to draw them in towards him before taking a heavier touch into space and using his impressive acceleration just to burn around them. And then once he gets the back burners on, use his long limbs and powerful strides to allow him to really stride into top speed very quickly. When going on the outside, he likes to hit the byline and cut in or have a cutback ready for an opponent. When he's inverting and looking to underlap rather than overlap, he has the ability to come in on his left foot and pick a pass out, or maybe get a shot off, but he's not so comfortable on his weaker left foot. But he does well in creating overloads centrally. I think because he has that ability to play on his left foot, that's why we have seen him being used as a left back. He's composed and comfortable on the ball, but once he gets into space, there's no stopping him. So does Kayode have any weaknesses? Well, every single player comes with weaknesses. Let's be honest. I would say crossing from deeper areas. He's very, very good at hitting the byline and cutting back crosses. But when he's got his head up and looking to whip a ball in, he just needs a little bit of improvement on that. And also, he lacks that creativity, intelligence in the final third, whether that be looking for a key pass, looking for a through ball, having that vision and intelligence just to spot that run in order just to play a perfectly weighted ball in. So how would he fit in Unai Emery from a tactical standpoint? Well, we all know he can play that right back role because he's played there the most under Vincenzo Italiano at Fiorentina in a back four. But he can also play that wing-back role as well, as we've seen, that right midfield. And also at times, if he wants, is a right forward, which is crazy to think because he's so good in defending. But it definitely gives Unai Emery options. Now, when I can see what Unai Emery's trying to build, because bringing Enzo into that midfield, who loves to switch the play, that will benefit Kayode, because if Enzo can move that ball into space and you've got Kayode running on, using his power and his speed to latch onto the ball, that could be a massive counter-attack in transition very quickly for Unai Emery and Aston Villa. But Vincenzo Italiano is quite like Unai Emery. He's been vowed for his tactician approach to games, whether that be changing his philosophy before a game, depending on the opposition, or doing it in-game. And he uses Kayode very well because he's been used as that orthodox, natural right back where he does just look to create width and get on the outside. But he's also been used impressively as that inverted right back where out of possession or even in possession, he looks to get into the midfield, creating overloads because he is comfortable on that weaker foot. So I can see Aston Villa and Unai Emery having a lot of fun with Michael Kayode. So just to back up everything I've said, I am going to look at it from a statistic point of view, looking at how he compares in Serie A, how he compares to Aston Villa, but more importantly, how he compares to Matty Cash as well, and I'll give you it all as one. So I've already touched on the attacking side, so more carries, more progressive carries, more total progressive carry distances, carries in the penalty area, more touches in the defensive middle and final third, more take-ons, more successful take-ons than Matty Cash. So what's he compare? It's the defensive side of it. Well, tackles, he finished with 53 tackles in Serie A last season. He would finish 5th at Aston Villa, and that's only one less than Matty Cash did at Aston Villa, who finished 54. Tackles in the defensive third, he finished with 27. That would have been 3rd in Aston Villa's squad, but it's actually more than what Matty Cash finished. Tackles in the middle third, he finished with 15. That would have been 7th compared to the Aston Villa squad. Matty Cash finished with 24, so he was higher in the middle third. Tackles in the final third, this is key. He finished with 11. That would have been more than any Aston Villa player. He's a right back. That goes to show how much he likes to close a space and be aggressive in his counter-pressing. Interceptions, he finished with 18. That would have been 5th in the Aston Villa squad. Now, this is key to me as well, especially now that Aston Villa has got those UEFA Champions League games. Fouls committed. He finished with 14. That would have been 3rd in Aston Villa's squad. Matty Cash finished with 30. almost double the fouls than what Kayode does. That goes to give you an indication on how well he times these challenges. He's very calculated in his art and crafting in the defensive third style. Aerial duels, he's actually better than what Matty Cash is. So aerial duels won, that he finished with 17, that to finish 9th in the Villa squad. Matty Cash finished with 15, but percentage of aerial duels won, he finished with 47.6. That had been 13th in the Aston Villa squad. More than Matty Cash, who finished with 41.7. But in my humble opinion, I think Matty Cash has been unbelievable for Aston Villa. Helped them get into the Champions League. He's helped them progress up the league. And he's brought excitement to the fans. And he's been brilliant under Unai Emery. But when you bring in a 19-year-old that is producing far better statistics in one season, he's inexperienced, remember, than Matty Cash. For me, it's undoubtedly an upgrade. Michael Kayode has got a higher ceiling than what Matty Cash had. And I do think Michael Kayode would be an upgrade on Matty Cash. So guys, I appreciate you all watching this video. I hope that gives you a good insight and breakdown on what type of footballer you're getting with Michael Kayode. I'm telling you, he's one of the most complete fullbacks you'll come across, especially at 19 years old. And there's only room for improvement. If he improves on weaknesses that I did point out, you've got yourself a hell of a fullback. I'm telling you, a hell of a talent. So I would be excited by this signing. So I do hope you pull it off. And I appreciate you all watching, as always. And Aston Villa, you do what Newcastle did last season. You got into the UEFA Champions League. And I wish you nothing but the best for this upcoming season.